everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
I actually hit a new milestone, people. I was in the talking phase with someone, and then I ended it, and I just found out they made a Reddit post about me. Hi, Ren and your friends, if you're watching this, which I know you probably are because you said that you were in the post. So I responded to your post, and then I also messaged you via text, which I saw that you read. I also saw that you deleted the video that you posted about making the Reddit post. And maybe by making these responses, I'm proving your point where you said that I was mentally unstable and that I have 2 disorders that you're aware of that I'm medicated for, but that I probably have a personality disorder. That was something that you decided to say to a bunch of strangers on the internet. I guess I'm going through all these avenues to communicate this with you, and I defend myself because my feelings are really hurt. I would say objectively, the story that you told on Reddit, the take and perspective you had was just, in my opinion, untruthful. You were saying things like I was emotionally unstable for crying in the car over seeing a homeless person when no tears came from my eyes. I just said, oh man, that really sucks. Like, that hurts my heart, makes me want to die, to acknowledge this person's existence. We had a great weekend, and at the end of it, I was thinking that we were gonna maybe be something, and you asked me a really simple question. You were like, hey, so how do you think things have gone now that I've been here for a few days? I'm leaving tomorrow. And I was like, I think it's going great. This is really awesome. It's exactly how I thought it would be. And then you specifically were like, what about the sex? How do you feel about the sex? Which you had mentioned a couple times over the weekend. And I was like, I think it's good. Hell yeah, I'm having a good time. The one thing that I said was, I was like, when we were first talking, I was kind of concerned that maybe 2 bottoms won't make a right here, but I don't think that's an issue at all. I was like, you're definitely a little bit more softer in bed than I'm used to, but that's not a bad thing. I was like, I like what we're doing. And in that moment, just like many other moments, when I gave you an innocuous, honest answer to what should have been an innocuous, simple question, you shut down on me. You very visibly got upset, which again is okay. You can be upset, you can get your feelings hurt if you get an answer to a question that maybe you don't want or you weren't expecting. But what I said was not negative in any capacity. I told you everything was good and fine, but then you shut down on me. So you shut down on me and you got really quiet, kind of like when I told you that I still considered my middle school girlfriend, the girl that I dated from when I was 12 to 15, a friend of mine. You got really quiet and upset because you said that, you think that was weird because I might leave you for my middle school ex who I haven't really talked to in 10 years and we see each other for holidays. Do you get what I'm saying? This was another one of those moments that I experienced with you where it seems like you were kind of projecting your own insecurities onto this answer that I'm giving you instead of hearing me and hearing what I'm saying and taking it at face value. I said, yeah, I don't know, you're a little softer than some of the people that I've slept with, but I really like you. I like it. I think this is great. I'm having fun. I really feel for you. I think this is a vibe. And all you heard was, oh, she thinks I'm not enough. She says I'm too this, which means I'm not enough that. And so, oh, she's just what? Do you get what I mean? You and I had several conversations where I was like, don't get it twisted. I do love masc women. I love masc people who don't identify as women. But also, I like women. Your style, your identity, everything about you was very attractive to me. The only thing I said that I guess made you spiral is when I said, I was like, the way that you express sexual interest and the way that you try to initiate intimacy and romance with me, I was like, it's a little submissive, it's a little deferential. I'm not used to it. I'm not sure if it really resonates with me. And that was after you pushing and pushing, saying but why? What do you mean? Give me an example. And I kept trying to rephrase it in dozens of ways to try to make you understand, to try to make myself understand, until we had been sitting there for a couple of hours and then we were both crying, confused, and getting our feelings hurt because we really liked each other, but something was not computing. So you left crying. You did. Went to go cool down. I was working in my car. You came back. And it was my understanding that the end of this conversation, as we were going to bed and then into the next morning, was, look, we really like each other. Not sure what's going on here. Like something, like there's just something that we're not quite understanding that's frustrating, but we know we have feelings for each other. You know, we don't really want to give up on this. Let's just let it sit for a bit and like we'll talk about this as the days go on. I still wanted to come see you in where you are. And you at some point were like, I don't know if that's a great idea because of like how this is now and like the event that you were putting on with and for your friends. I was kind of like, ugh, like I want to go and I want to be there, but also considering the personal things you have going on, the events you're putting on, and you know, the fact that like this is kind of weird now, maybe we should wait until your personal things are over. I have personal things, school, literally an international trip. I proposed that we wait like 2 months until I came to see you. And in that time, we would still keep talking, getting to know each other, try to like figure this out. Because again, I really liked you and I was very attracted to you. And the only thing that had made me like question any of this was, again, you pushing and being like, but like, what do you mean? What do you mean though? Like, what is it? So then a couple days later, we got on the phone. I told you, I was like, you know, let's maybe wait a few weeks, but let's keep talking until then. And you did not like that. You said that was too long for you. And I was like, okay, I understand that. 2 months is kind of a long time, but I'm being honest that that is the furthest I'm willing to extend myself, given the circumstances, given what we have going on. That's my idea. That's my compromise here. Like, this is what I think would be best. And you were basically like, well, I just don't think that's fair. That's way too long. And then again, you were like, oh, so does this mean that you just say it? Like, if you don't want to see me, just say it. Or if there's no chemistry, just tell me that. So after us going in circles like this enough to where I'm like, no, I really like you again. Like, it's just, there's obviously something that's miscommunicated here. I snapped and I was like, okay, you know what? Actually stop. We're going in circles. I'm getting really frustrated. I can feel myself shutting down. I think this is our answer. I think this nonstop, like cyclical misunderstanding that we're having is our answer. I don't think we should talk anymore. You know that we both have that city that we're planning on moving to. And, you know, after we were like, well, this blows and it's awkward. And like, yes, I was emotional, basically telling you like, okay, I want to stop talking because like, I can't take whatever this is anymore. I was like, well, hey, like maybe we'll run into each other in that city. And you were like, oh, are you saying that like, if, you know, we were in the same city or if we like met there, you would maybe want to try again? And I said, absolutely. Like, the only issue that we're having here is that, one, there's so much pomp and circumstance and logistical issues around us being so far apart, trying to figure this out while being so busy, and like there being like literal physical distance. I was like, if we lived in the same city and we could both have this balance of like you being in my space, me being in your space, and like, you know, you not having that guilt of like wanting to clean my apartment, but I don't want to let you clean my apartment, and you thinking that that's some like bigger thing that makes me like strict and controlling. If we didn't have those issues, I would absolutely still be down to date you and see what was up. I really liked you, but that's not the case. So I was like, yeah, maybe in the future. Like, and we made jokes. I was like, haha, like if you see me in the city, like don't run away from me. And we were being cute. And we were like, okay, well, I guess this is it. And you were like, are you gonna hang up? And I was like, no, you can do it. Like, you got this. You can hang up. Like, I was just being like playful, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that was inappropriate. And then you were like, no, like, I don't want to hang up. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. Like, bye. And I really thought that everything was cool and that we were good. But then you decide to go on the internet and make up a bunch of shit about like me having mental and or personality disorders, and claiming that you think I sabotaged this relationship out of fear because I've only been with like shitty people and I don't know what it's like to be with a good person, and so I was fearful. When the reality is, I ended things because of that misunderstanding. I was really attracted to you. I do really like you. But yes, there was that one small thing about how you initiated intimacy with me where I was like, ugh, I think this is indicative of kind of like a bigger compatibility thing. Like, I'm not sure I can put my finger on it or get over it. But you didn't like any of the honest answers I was giving you. And so you kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And now we're here. So, yeah, my feelings are hurt. I'm pretty annoyed. I think I'm mad because I don't think it's fair that you went online to a bunch of strangers and actually misconstrued, like legitimately misrepresented what happened that weekend, the things that I said, because again, you cannot separate your own insecurities from the reality of what happened. You were not hearing me or really understanding the situation. You were only able to process it through your lens of, oh, well, people have done this to me in the past, or I know she's saying this, but maybe there's some secret underlying meaning to it. And there's nothing I can really do about that. And to be fair, I'm not going to get on here and talk about some of the situations that we were in, the things that you did and said that were kind of a red flag that did make me be like, I don't think she's ready for this. Or like, oh, that was an interesting take. But I'm not going to get on here and put you on blast or even speculate about those things because that's not cool. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have to make anything up like you did. So the bottom line is we just didn't have enough chemistry. You brought up the stuff at the end. I answered you honestly. I thought everything was good and I was going to roll with it, but then you kept pushing and pushing. And I was like, okay, well, if you have these concerns, like I'm going to take this seriously. So then I was like, okay, maybe the way that you come on to me like isn't really my thing, and maybe that's indicative of the fact that you're just a little bit too young for me, etc., 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 etc. I could go on forever. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed your 15 minutes because I know talking about influencers and following and the influencers that live in your area and your niche and your this and your that is very important to you. So hopefully those 60 comments on your Reddit post gave you a little something to hold you over for the next few weeks while you're trying to get your thing off the ground.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. She's a certified yapper, but I'm not sure if this response was warranted to be 11 minutes and 25 seconds. But I'm telling you what, she gave her a piece of her mind. Okay. I just want to say, not everybody is going to be compatible for you. One thing I would never do is go to any platform and talk about any girl I've dated, any girl. Well, I'm lying to y'all in y'all face. Y'all don't know the woman I dated, so it don't matter. But I'm not finna go out on a date, get on my YouTube channel and be like, hey, you know what? This is how she made me feel. You know what I mean? You know, I've imagine this. Could you imagine? I get turned down too. Can you believe that? You know what? The nerve of these women, okay? But I'm still not finna go out and make no video about you. And trust me, I got the followers that will engage. And they're going to be calling you all type of dirty, rotten scoundrels, okay? But I wouldn't do that because I'm not trying to mess up anything for the future, you know? So then saying that she's an influencer, let's look at her message, okay? Let's look at her message, right? She says, I dated the soft Andrew Tate of lesbians on TikTok and don't really have anyone else to tell this to. She says, not sure where to begin because I'm still processing all of this. I am considered a masked androgynous presenting lesbian, and I don't consider myself an influencer on TikTok by any means, but I have an internet following for a specific niche. I met this person via TikTok and we hit it off instantly. So you're not an influencer, but you have an internet following. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I met this person via TikTok. We hit it off instantly. She has a fairly large following, if that matters. We are texting and talking consistently, have or had similar interests, morals, values, etc. I don't typically fall smitten quick, but with her it felt different. While we are talking, I decided in the end not to watch all of her content online because I wanted to see her for her through our direct communication and thought that we would be respectful. This is important and where I messed up. I met her in person after a couple of weeks of talking to make sure this was real, and things were generally great for the 5 days I visited, or so I thought. We didn't really have any issues except when I would try to assist her around her apartment cleaning. She would be adamant, and I don't She would be adamant I don't and was very strict with me about it. I understand wanting to entertain your guests, but she wouldn't let me fold my laundry at all, which I found odd. All right, so if that's true, because she said it wasn't true, or some of it wasn't true, you listen, man. Women, well, I don't know. I don't know how women that date men, they they love for a man to come in and do some stuff that typically they wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, it doesn't even have to be something big. It can be something small. But if a man knows how to change a doorknob or, you know, hang some curtains, and this is not big stuff, mind you, it's not big stuff, but this is stuff that women prefer not to do and to have a man do it. So a lot of times women will have their fathers do it, but when they get a man and he comes over and she be like, hey baby, bring your tools next time because I need this done, okay? So that is what I'm talking about. So with that in mind, understand that you just got to be a real man. You know what I'm saying? Your man got to be a man. So I'm not sure how that works with lesbian relationships. Okay, and maybe she doesn't have faith in you. And she also said you were softer than most, but you consider yourself mask. What is masculine? It's masculine, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. But so I don't know. Maybe she has maybe that was the OCD in her. Because also she talks about this post right here. She says, I recognize this abuse. You are very, very lucky to have enough boundaries that you were able to navigate a situation like this. I feel bad for her because mood instability is such a rigid role and rule expectations are a nightmare, but they shouldn't be your nightmare. She said, I appreciate the message. She has multiple disorders, 2 that I know of, and she is medicated. Just makes me very sad because deep down she's really a good person, but her trauma and views are blocking her path to self-growth and being in a healthy relationship. So, and I guess that's what she was talking about. She said, I have disorders when I have, she said her talking about my 2 disorders when I have mild OCD. So that's just the cleaning part. Like, you know what? I ain't finna tell y'all all my business, but I got certain towels I use and certain towels I don't want to be used. You know what I'm saying? Use my white towels to wash your face. Do not wash your face. Do not wash your ass with my white towels, okay? I do not need your booty juice on my white towels. Now, use the dark color towels to wash your body and your butt, okay? White towels don't dirty up. Also, use makeup. Also, put all your shit together because I don't need you leaving no articles of clothing around my house for when because you never know. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a random bra and earrings in my house. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is she's just going, the OCD, that's the OCD in me, just to have stuff. But then again, like my house, my dresser is a clutter. But I know everything that's on my dresser. So when something comes up missing, it's only me and my daughter in this mug. So, hey, told you stay out of my room. You know what I'm saying? But my daughter, I'm about to have to put a lock on my door because she just always in my stuff, and it just drives me crazy. But that's little OCD. Like I like my dishes put up a certain way. You know what I'm saying? But who wouldn't? You know what I'm saying? It's just all type of little stuff that you know how much OCD I got? This how bad my OCD is. When I'm walking, I try to take an even number of steps inside like squares on the sidewalk. Or not even number, I just try to like not step on the crack. Step on the crack, break your mama back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And then I just had to break myself from it. But I still catch myself at times doing it. You know, just to get that urge off of you. But it's not weird. Y'all probably got weird ass things y'all do too. Like I eat a sandwich. How I eat a sandwich, like a bread, sliced cheese, meat, whatever. I like eat. I like eat all the edge off first. Then I eat the middle of the sandwich. I don't know why I do it. I've just been doing it since I was a kid, and that's just how it is. Okay, so when you got weird fetishes like that, or not fetishes, but you got weird like things about yourself, don't worry about it. Just own your weirdness, okay? Just own it. It's okay. It's you. But the Andrew Tate comment was wild. But anyway, she dodged a bullet. But I don't see why you would get online. You dating the influencers, then you get online to talk about the influencer. That literally makes people, once they find you, don't date this person, because if it doesn't work out, she's gonna talk bad about you on Reddit for no reason. Absolutely no reason. There was no reason for her to do that. Sonya says, me too. OCD is not just cleaning. Yeah, it's not clean. It's not just cleaning for me. I got a lot of. My friend says I'm very funny about my house. If you can deal with that, we'll be okay. Like some people don't like you to walk in their house with shoes on, and you want me to walk in with my white socks. Like at least give me some slippers, some house shoes. You ain't got no house shoes. You know what I mean? So it's all stuff, man. Thank y'all for that video. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section.